Hello, everyone. I'm Esperanza Walsh, and this is Art from the Heart, St. Augustine's Church. And today we are still using the technique of posterizing, and the session subject would be onions. Yes, this is supposed to be yellow and red onions, but I think my yellow onions is a bit too much on the orange side. So when we work on it in this session, I'm going to lighten the color a bit and make it a bit more yellow. Okay, let's start. Okay. For this activity, we would need to do our sketch first. And to do the sketch, we would need our paper and our pencil. And the first thing we need to do would be to put a marker across the page. Okay, longitudinally, I am putting a marker. And then I'm also putting another marker across that. That is to center my onions. So this is the original art piece. This is bigger than this onion, but in this art piece, I want to make them almost the same size. So what I'm gonna do is move this red onion a little bit here. Yes, so that I can draw the yellow onion here and it can be more balanced. Okay, one moment. So it's basically just two overlapping circles. So let me just let me just draw the red onion so that you can see what I mean. Oh, by the way, I am going to slant this a little bit, slant the red onion a little bit because I would want the top of the onion to be here. Oh, this seems to be a bit too short. Like so. And then the roots, yeah, at the bottom of the onion, there's that small area like a disc with small roots. Okay, so that's going to be over there. And then for my yellow onion, okay, which is overlapping behind the red onion. Okay, this will be shaped like so. So the roots will be here. And then, okay, sorry about that. Okay, I'm now going to remove the unnecessary guidelines and make any relevant change to the shape and form of my onions. So I'm going to turn it this way just to make it easier for me to erase the lines, the sketch that I don't need. Sketch unnecessary lines that may cause me confusion later on while I'm painting. Okay, so now I have these two onions over here. Okay, and the next thing I need to do is to decide where my light is coming from. Okay, originally in this art piece, the light is coming from this area. Okay, so now for this one, I want my light to move a little bit more that way. So that means I want to create a shadow like so. So a bigger shadow coming from this onion. So those will be my shadows. Let me soften that. This will be the shadow on the ground, and this will be the shadow on the yellow onion. Okay, I'm not putting a wall behind it, so it's going to be like a vast flat area, and all it has are my yellow and red onions. So now, okay, now I'm creating the area that's going to be brighter than the rest. So that's how I'm gonna do it, because the light is coming from this area. Previously, it's coming from this area. So now, let me just extend this a bit. Okay, so that is now where I can find the brighter areas. But here you can see there's a darker area as well, and that we will paint with the burnt umber later on. So if the light is coming from here, like so, no, from here, like so. So that means the darker area would be here. Okay, so now we can start painting. And before we do that, we will pre-mix the paint. And here, I have pre-mixed the color for my red onion. Yes, this is actually just red with some violet paint in it. You can also use blue to create that particular tone. But before you apply the paint, I would like you to test it and see if it's actually the color you would like to use. So, no, I'm not happy with that yet. So I need to add some more violet. Okay, I am very happy with that color. So I'm just going to get some of this water and mix it here. Okay, now this violet paint, I will put 2 drops here. Okay, and then I will add 2 drops of water. Okay, let me test the color, see if I'm happy. Yes, I'm happy. Okay, now here I'm going to get 2 drops again. 1, 2. And then I'm going to add 2 drops of water again. And then mix. And again, same thing. I'm just going to test the color first. Okay, lovely. And then I'm going to get 2 drops from this again. Okay, 1, 2. And then 2 drops of water. Oops. And then mix. And then see. Oh, wow. That is beautiful. So we can see the actual transition of the colors. Actually, it's transition of the hue. Okay, so now we just paint our onion. And what I'm gonna do is start from the lightest area, which is here. Okay, it's almost white. So, okay, there we go. If you have too much paint, if you're creating a puddle, just lift the paint. And then I will not paint this area for now. I will let this area here dry. So I am going to paint around that first. So here. Oh, the color is just so beautiful. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to try and avoid smudging the paint. No promises. Okay. So let me just turn this so it would be easier for me to paint these onions. Okay, so we painted that, and I will start with the roots. So I'm just going to extend this a little bit, just solid lines here. Again, it just has to be solid lines, that's all. And if you have excess paint, just lift them. Again, we're trying to avoid creating puddles. Okay, so now we just have to let that dry so we can paint the rest of it. And while doing so, we will start with the yellow onion. Now, for the yellow onion, similar to the red one, we have to prepare the paint first. And I did try to do that. Okay, and I did it in my class earlier, but it was too much on the orange side. So what I'm gonna do, is just to get a little bit this. Okay, this is the lightest one, most, the yellowish, most yellowish one. Sorry, it's just supposed to be four wells. Sorry for that. So I'm going to distribute this into 4 wells. Okay, I'm going to get the darker one. Okay, maybe a little bit of that. Now, we will not end there. Okay, I'm going to add 1 drop of water each just to make it more fluid. And then we go to the exciting bit. And the exciting bit is mixing it with lemon yellow. So we will add more lemon yellow to each one. Okay. Okay. Again, more lemon yellow. But just like everything else we did, we will test the color first to see if we're happy with it. And we will do that for each of them. Okay, just added water. Now, my testing sheet. Okay, I'm just gonna mix this. Oops, sorry, too much. That's lovely, really light. I like it. A little bit too light. Okay. Now let's see if I'm happier. Okay, that's much better. And then next color would be this one. Again, it's a little bit too light, so I added more orange. Better. And then I added more orange to the last one. Okay, that's much better now. So I'm just going to move this here and move that there. And I'm going to get the art piece back here. And we are going to start painting it. Okay. We will start with the lightest color. So this one. And this is the area where we have the lightest color. Okay, again, if there's too much paint, we lift it. And similar to this, we will not paint in this area for now, so that we can let this area dry. So I'm going to proceed to the second most intense color and paint the rest of it. Okay, there we go. Again, remove the excess paint. We don't want puddles. Okay, but I do want to have some lines here, solid lines, thick solid lines here for the roots. Okay, fantastic. Now we go back to this one and check if it's dry enough. If it is, we paint the next color, which is in between the one we initially painted and the one outside it. Okay, let me just see if it's dry. Yes, some areas are dry, so I can paint that. Okay, here. Okay, I think it's too light. It's too close to that one. So I'm going to add a little bit of this just to stain the paper. And that transition I think is better. Yes, so now we see three different colors of the onions. Okay, I do like that. And then here, okay, so I now have my red onion ready. So now I am going to go back to my yellow onion and check if it's dry. Oh wow, amazing. It has dried faster than the red one. And I will paint this area here. Which is also amazing. They're too close, again, similar to the earlier one. So I'm going to stain the paper a little bit, just a little bit. There we go. That's much better. So we now have three different colors. And then I'm now going to get burnt umber and paint the dark areas with burnt umber. So here. And then I'm going to paint solid lines, not draw, paint. Okay, so I'm painting some solid lines here for the roots of my onion. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing here on this side. So I'm just going to paint burnt umber here. I'm going to turn it a little bit. And then I'm going to paint those brown, thick brown lines. And my onion is almost finished. Yes, almost, but not finished yet. Okay, so I am going to paint this area with the lemon yellow, sorry, with the yellow orange as well. And now I am going to paint lines here on this red onion with my most concentrated solution of paint. So I am going to do that like so. And then again like that. And then again here on this side. And then here a little bit more. And then I'm going to put some small lines here as well over what I have painted before. Again, we paint over, not mix it with the what we previously painted. We paint over it. Okay, so now we painted those lines in the red onion. Time to do the same with our yellow onion. And for this one, I am going to use orange paint to do the lines. Okay, so there we go. Then more here. And then again the same. I'm going to drop some orange paint here over what I painted earlier. Not mix, but paint over. Okay, so far I'm very happy with my onions. Now I just need to get some black paint. Okay, and here's my black paint from the other day. Yes, just recycling the black paint. And what we're going to do now is just to paint over the outline broken curved lines. So it's not solid, it's not straight, but it would show the shape of our onion. There we go. Perfect. Now the roots. Okay, just a little bit of those black paint on the roots. And then I am going to draw some lines in black, similar to the lines we've done earlier. Ideally, it should be over them, but since this is still wet, I cannot paint over some of those red lines. Okay, so I've done the red onion. Now it's just time for the yellow onion. Okay, I'm gonna turn this around to make it easier. Okay, same thing, paint the outline. There we go. Again, don't paint it as a solid line. Instead, it's broken lines. And then solid lines, solid dark lines here that we paint over what we have previously painted. And now the lines on our onion. Again, we should not paint over the orange lines if they are wet. And we paint over. We don't mix the paint with what we have painted earlier. Okay, so I now have my 2 onions posterized, but I still don't have the shadow that I have drawn over there. So now I'm just rinsing my brush, not too clean because I still want to have a slight tinge of that gray paint on the brush. So that will be part of the shadow. And there we go. Okay, let me just turn it around so I can smoothen the edges of the shadow. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, now we just need to do a shadow here on this onion. Again, we paint over. We do not mix. Okay, so now we have finished painting our posterized onions. I hope you enjoyed this session and see you again in our next session. We will be painting bell peppers. Okay, bye-bye.